0 Point Reviews with Jeff and Kev. No point is irrelevant. No points are taken, nor are they given. But yet, they are, and there is absolutely no point not to revisit the movies that we are talking about. This time on 0 Point Reviews, we are talking James Cameron's Aliens from 1986. But we also have some special guests this time. We're calling in the Colonial Marines, Steve and Izzy from Everything I Learned from the Movies podcast. Thank you both for joining us. And do you guys have some memories about this movie when it first came out, or did you catch it on video later?
I remember people saying the name of our show correctly. No, it's easy.
Yes!
Thanks for having us on just for that.
Right on.
Good night, everybody.
Do you remember your first time watching Aliens with the dollar sign? No.
I don't, but I remember the first time you saw the Not TV edit.
Yeah, well, all right. The story goes, I watched the TV edit when I was a kid, like probably 7 or 8 years old at my grandparents' house. And I was a little scared, I'm not going to lie. However, the worst part was that night, I was going out of both ends. Like, I just got sick for whatever reason. Must have been something I ate or whatever, just out of both ends. So that was the memory I had for this movie for the longest time.
Was you thinking you had a xenomorphin?
Yeah, exactly.
A moment of silence for
Please
Steve.
kill me. Yeah, watching it in all of its R-rated glory is like, fuck yeah, this is like the greatest
first time
movie
was
ever made.
with your lovely wife.
Was that the first time I had seen
You'd
it?
seen it, the R-rated version, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we were going through movies you had only watched on TV, and Aliens was on that list.
Yeah. It was same time with Blazing Saddles and stuff? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. But yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, no, we watched one of the documentaries about the making of Alien and Aliens, and you were like, I don't remember that scene. And I'm like, babe, have you seen this movie?
Well, only way to find out.
Because I know
It's got to be a tight hour and 30 minutes, right?
No.
2 hours with commercials.
I know I saw it way too young as well, is why I don't really remember the first time I saw it, but I love these movies.
Wait, Bill Paxton talks in this version?
Yeah.
Game over, man. Game over.
Apparently he was really skittish about that too, because he was swearing in front of a little girl, and like after every take he'd have to like turn and apologize to her.
Aww.
This fucking sucks, man. I'm so sorry.
I'll get you an ice cream in 5 minutes.
We're on an elevator straight to hell.
Hey Steve, do you have a beer?
I do. Let's see. From Mother Earth Brew Company, we have their Kelly Creamin' Peaches and Cream. Yeah.
Peaches and cream. Ooh.
That sounds delightful.
And my top?
Those are tops. Oh,
Ooh, I like the click.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
Guys, this is delightful beer. It's not too artificial peachy. Like, it's very well balanced. Just a hint.
Yeah,
Nice.
a little malt forward, being a cream ale and everything, but just nice and smooth and a little bit of that peachy goodness you like. And 5% alcohol by volume. That's
Woo!
Mother Earth Brewing Company.
By the way, we do beer reviews on our podcast, so there you go.
The very excellent podcast. We'll absolutely make sure you shill before the end of the episode. But I love it when you guys talk beers, because I like drinking beers, and we had one earlier. I don't have it right now because I've already had my drinking for the day, and I got to work tomorrow, even though I work from home. But I had a couple whiskeys and a nice little beer to wrap it up, so it was a good day. It was a Mosaic IPA, so I very much enjoyed it. But,
We like Mosaic.
Nice, yeah.
and
Yeah, by the way,
Kevin's-
thanks for having us on to talk about this movie, because we can never talk about this movie on our podcast because we do bad to questionable movies, and this is a
Yeah.
goddamn classic.
Great.
I was gonna say, where do you rank this against the franchise in general? And I mean the franchise of Alien through Alien Resurrection.
Oh. For me, it's number 2 because the first one is number 1 for me.
I like Izzy right there.
So, for me, it's number 1 because they got guns and there's more and it's awesome. And no, but yeah, first one's great too. Like, it's like 10 and 10 plus. You know what I mean? Like, you really.
You just like any movie where they're saved by a caterpillar.
I mean, true. And flamethrowers. You know,
And flavethrower.
I'm a sucker for a
Hell
flamethrower.
yeah.
Guys. That's The New Kid, starring James Spader.
Oh my god. Most unexpected flamethrower kill in the history of cinema. Wasn't expecting that shit.
That's pretty good. Kevin, Did you have some favorite memories when you first saw this? When did you first see this bad boy?
Oh man, I don't know when I first saw this because it was always on TV, and
Yeah.
it was not a flick that my parents kind of hid from me because this was not the
Okay.
horror. This wasn't the horror version,
No.
so it didn't bother them. And I'd seen much worse. So this I probably watched as soon as it came out to video or HBO. And I think I mentioned it last time or last week. I liked this one so much that by the time I got to see Alien, which was again a couple years after the fact, I was bored by it. Like this was so fucking explosive and huge and had so many aliens that just one that looked completely bulky like 10 years prior just didn't do it for me. And I didn't understand that there was two different types of movies. So yeah,
Well,
I
and then a third one, we bring in Alien 3 or Alien Cubed or whatever you're supposed to.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you guys talk about that next week.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
We
now you're
can't get
coming back
anybody on
because
for
you
that
did Alien
one.
Cubed. I need to ask my godbrother Mike if he'll come on for that one because he knows how. Like that's his Blair Witch for you.
Oh, fuck off. That shit. Oh.
Mikey hates Alien 3 with a fucking passion, and deservedly so.
I like that one, but for me, when I first saw this, I actually saw this not necessarily in theaters, but I saw it like everybody else. I saw the TV cut, but I also knew that there was more to the movie than what I saw because they just added in some extra things. But when it came out on video, I remember getting the VHS, and I'm like, "Where's all the scenes with the sentry guns in it?" And I realized, well, that's the theatrical version. Then they later came out with in 1990, they came out with the special edition. And then I got that one. And so forever I had like 2 copies of videotapes, one with the theatrical and one with the special edition. And I would fluctuate between the two. Like, I'm going to ask at some point, like, which version is better. And most people will almost all agree, like, the special edition is the better fleshed out movie. I really like the theatrical one because it makes you think a little bit more of what's going on. It's not everything is entirely explained to you. So things are a little more mysterious and it makes you kind of wonder. Things come more of as a surprise. So it gives you a little bit more of the very first Alien movie feel with the theatrical version. But James Cameron really wanted to ramp up the action and really bring more of a in-your-face horror than just one little creature just hunting you down like a typical slasher movie. He wanted to bring you something a little more, oh my God, they're all around us. There's so many of them. And we know from the first one how bad these guys are. So when I was seeing it, I'm like, this is dope. And then that's when the arcade game came out. And I was all about that arcade game. And that shit is so dope. Love that game. And I think this is one of the best 1-2 punches of movies you could have in any sort of franchise. You go from alien straight horror space science fiction to action horror space science fiction. Something that's replicated in a video game like Dead Space to Dead Space 2. And I love that feel where it feels like the genre is changing and shifting and evolving without losing its identity from the first one. Yeah, generally, I prefer the first one, but the second one is freaking phenomenal. And I will not always say that about a James Cameron film.
Yeah, well,
he did it.
Another one like that, though, is Terminator and Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Speaking of James Cameron, it's like, yes, the first one's basically the perfect slasher movie.
Just about, yeah.
In my opinion. And then, the second one is just, it's more action. Obviously, there's still elements of like the unstoppable killing machine, but being protected by another unstoppable killing machine, but it's 2 or 3 versions down the line.
Right.
We're selling toys this time, motherfuckers.
That's right. Cha-ching.
Merchandising.
Speaking of flamethrowers, Spaceballs the flamethrower. They had to take that kill out, I think.
Oh, they did? I don't remember.
Yeah, man. One of the little Jawas probably got roasted on Spaceballs when he lit off the flamethrower.
Ah, gotcha.
I'd like to keep this handy for close encounters.
I heard that.
Yeah.
No flame. Right?
That scene right there, I liked it. It was really quick when they used the shotgun, and the best angle was quick. And that's where you don't see the alien's face. Connect the picture. There we go. Picture of Hicks's face right before he pulls the trigger is so cool.
Like you are so toast, bro.
Like he has that stupid "I'm gonna do something awesome" face. Like,
Yep.
where you think you look cool, but you really don't.
Well, the other one kind of like that I like is when Vasquez holds the head up against the wall with her foot, pulls out the gun,
Oh my
and blasts
God,
it,
yeah.
and or whatever. I'm like, oh, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Tactical error.
What, strong women in a movie from the 80s? What the hell are you talking about, bro? They never existed till Jennifer Lawrence was the first action hero. Didn't you?
Yeah, that's what?
I like her. I can't judge. Like I mean, I can judge. I can't talk shit. She was. That's not what she meant. Leave her alone.
She's got some
Jennifer
like
Lawrence
pure-
alone.
Vasquez
Riff
is
tracks
great in
of
this
Hunger
movie.
Games is fucking amazing. That's all I can say.
Gotcha.
We're talking about
My
Red
wife-
Sparrow, right?
No. The riff tracks. Red Sparrow, is that her name in it? Oh no, that's
No, I'm
Cottontail.
I've only seen the
You guys
the
mentioned
first three
Jennifer
movies
Lawrence. I got
like once.
distracted.
Kevin showing his knowledge of the Hunger Games franchise. If you like that comment and more, please put it below. Dislike this video.
The riff tracks is awesome, and they're not paying me to say that, so fuck off. Proud.
Anytime.
And the funny thing is Riff Tracks would probably pipe in and say, "Yeah, we proudly do not sponsor Kevin on anything."
Yep. And I'm proud that they are proud
Any
not to
Kevin
sponsor Kevin. Oh, what a movie. You guys got any favorite like moments or quotes from this movie?
Oh shit.
Oh my God, the whole thing.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like all the action scenes are fucking amazing. They mostly come out at night, mostly. We quote that every
Right.
week or so, I would say.
I do really like the when Sigourney Weaver is looking at a nude's doll and is like, I don't see any dreams in there. That's because she's made of plastic.
That made my wife look up from her tablet, and like she was looking at it like, is Sigourney Weaver gonna smack that kid in the fucking head? Like,
You would think.
she's right though.
Just wait till Ghostbusters 2. She'll want to smack a few kids.
Yeah, take that, Oscar.
Yeah. You ain't going to be seen ever again in this franchise, little one.
Sucker.
Well, they took out Newton, Alien 3 anyway, so.
Yeah.
Can we talk about what bullshit that was now, or do we want to
Or
talk
do we
about
wait till next week? Yeah.
Wait till next
Yeah.
week, Kevin. I mean, we'd end up glowing about aliens and how much the rest of them suck after this one.
I don't want to like rage tear down my studio like part 3.
Okay.
Is really tight.
Well, to some point so far, like the chemistry between the cast is fantastic. I think
Oh, yeah.
the
Sure.
casting decisions in this movie were outstanding, especially Paul Reiser as the consummate corporate asshole. I love that duplicitous prick in this movie. He was great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what are your guys' thoughts on Burke? Paul Reiser in general. What are your guys' thoughts on Paul Reiser?
Who? No,
Paul
just
Reiser.
kidding.
the-
What, mad about you, this, and
Yep.
what? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like I don't think about him.
He was in
he's kinda
Beverly Hills Cop
kinda
1.
like my wife with
Yeah.
Joe Piscopo. We just don't think about him.
I mean, I think about him in terms of Mad About You, but I think I'm the only person who still thinks about that show occasionally.
And you do just because Helen Hunt and Twister.
I mean, yeah, and they had a really
yeah.
good dog in that show.
Helen
Yeah.
Hunt and Trancers 1 and 2. Just saying.
Helen
Yeah.
Hunt and everything. She's just awesome sauce. I said awesome sauce. I didn't say sexy sauce or sassy sauce or anything like that. But I'm thinking it.
Just
now.
saying.
Yeah, Paul Reiser's Weasley in this. I fucking love it. Like, and he's not like super evil, like I don't know, hand-wringing maniacal laugh evil or whatever. He's just corporate douche evil and
the worst kind.
Got mad about you.
We can make money. It's a percentage.
I thought you of all people would understand and respect that.
I've been technically dead for 57 years, you son of a bitch. Yeah, that's what I expected.
Like, I hated him growing up. Like, I missed all of Mad About You. Like,
I haven't seen much of that show, to be honest.
I caught it after it was canceled or after it ended. I enjoyed it. It is good. But fucking I hated him growing up because of this movie.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand at that point. I didn't hate Paul Reiser. I hated Carl Burke or Carter Burke, whatever his name was.
Character.
And that he's such a good actor that he pulled this character off so definitively that I hated him for it. And I want to say it really took like Joaquin Phoenix to teach me that at a Gladiator. Like, you're such a twat waffle that like I
can't just help it.
Yeah, Sally
Such
Field
a scum
from
bucket.
Yeah, Sally Field from Mrs. Doubtfire, the same thing.
Oh.
Janae from Forrest Gump. Then he's the Princess Bride.
Oh my God! Don't get me started on Jedi.
You don't want to know what I had to say when Jerry Orbach passed away.
Oh my God!
You leave baby alone.
That's what you get for putting her in the fucking corner, asshole. I mean,
and showing up in like 50 episodes of Murder, She Wrote.
Oh my God, that's right.
I'm sorry, Jerry.
That's okay, buddy. Oh, what was that? Did you guys hear it?
Now go put your ass in the corner.
Yeah. All right, guys. All right, now let's turn this podcast into Lance Henriksen Appreciation Hour for just a few minutes because him as Bishop in this movie is also great. Oh, yep, here we go.
The five-finger fillet.
Yep. This gets me every freaking time.
I didn't realize that was a thing. Like, until
I've seen it in like 5 other movies from around this era.
Yeah.
I just remember it from this. And then when it was on Red Dead Redemption, I was like, they're ripping off aliens. Because, you know, a cowboy movie would do that, or a cowboy game would totally rip off a sci-fi movie.
Did nobody else's like friends do this with pencils at school?
Yes.
Mine did.
Yeah.
But I always thought it came from this.
Yeah, say, were there movies before this? I assume because James Cameron did it, he borrowed it from another movie, but
yeah, like everything else. Yeah.
Okay, so in that, Cameron does bring a lot of things. Excuse me, Corman. He learned
after he got fired. Yeah.
We wasn't going to say that part.
I will.
He learned how to do so many great things and integrate so many great things that it's almost forgivable when he's.
Oh no, totally, yeah. Look, James Cameron, you know, he hasn't made a good movie in like 30 years. I'll say that, but that I like since True Lies. I mean, who gives a fuck about Titanic or Avatar? And I think that's all he's made since then, right?
Yeah.
But I see him like the same as like Tarantino. Like, is Tarantino a completely original filmmaker? Absolutely not. But he has a depth of knowledge about filmmaking and how to make a scene and dialogue and everything, like basically perfect. And he executes it very well.
Guys, I looked it up according to Wikipedia, which is, you know,
the source of all knowledge.
100% truth.
Apparently, the knife game was popular with seamen on boats, and apparently was first featured in Knife in the Water, Roman Polanski, 1962.
Mm-hmm.
Made popular by Aliens, 1986. Given the name Five Finger Fillet by season 1, episode 6 of Boardwalk Empire,
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like
I know that show very well.
Or some shit.
Yeah. Apparently, there's an episode of King of the Hill called Death in Texas where Piggy wants to play that stab you the knife around your fingers game. A character says he doesn't believe it has a name, and Peggy says, let's call it Stab Scotch.
That's pretty good info. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
I'm
you,
sure all of it
Wikipedia
is
Britannica.
100% correct. Nothing
Yep.
could possibly go wrong.
110%.
Can I also just say kudos for saying Polanski and semen in the same sentence without laughing?
Or getting us demonetized.
That's true.
Somebody has to be the adult on this. My reign is over. It's time for somebody else.
All right, no more adulting on this show.
So, just really quick, you guys watched the theatrical version. Some of the things that you guys missed in the special edition was the explanation of what happens when she gets rescued. She gets fired for blowing up the Nostromo, and there's no account of being told to land on the planet, anything. So you see her like waiting for her court hearing in something that looks like the holodeck here.
Yeah. What the
Yeah.
Which was kind of neat, except for she had to use a remote control to turn it off. But they were trying to show how futuristic her apartment was and what it would be like for someone in her position. But this part here, where it's just showing her cigarette drift away.
Yeah, just staring off into the distance, blah, blah, blah. By the way, I was also like, because I hadn't seen this in a couple of years or whatever, when they come and are like, hey, so we need you on the planet. I thought it was like later that day that she woke up that they're like, hey, so we lost contact LV426. I'm like, God damn, they waited 57 years to the day she woke up to take her to the colony. but then there was like something like, oh yeah, I've heard you've been working the loading dock or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay, so some time has passed. And she's still stressed out about it. But yeah, I was seriously like, hey, with the cigarette and everything, I'm like, fuck, is this like within 12 hours of her coming out of a coma?
Also, can we have a moment of silence for that ash? We have not had one that good since The Shining.
Right.
This is true. This is true. Now, if you're smoking, you automatically get a rating bump.
This is historical smoking.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no violence or language in this movie to make it R-rated. It's just that one cigarette.
No,
This isn't smoke at all. So, meh.
or the smoking when the acid hits their flesh and they're screaming.
God, the core of this movie is outstanding.
Oh, it's fucking great.
They don't go too
floating
nuts, but they got
and-
enough going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's look at that really quick. Like the aliens, they talk about being like what, silica based, and boy, does that really come through when they get to give kisses, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
Like they're so gross and wet, and it looks like wood glue almost, or semen. But they're very slimy, sticky.
What's the H.R. Giger total design that they kept from the first one, and they just added more to it in the second round. And kudos to Stan Winston for keeping as much consistency as he possibly could.
Yes, and that's what I didn't get. What I was showing here, this is the most Gigerish that we could possibly show.
Yeah.
But where they go down into the hive, where you first see that's where they were kind of like, all right, let's really incorporate all this stuff that Cameron saw in the first film that wasn't actually shown. Like he got to see bits and pieces of it. Like Dallas being cocooned, that wasn't, he knew that, but that wasn't shown in the theatrical version. You didn't see that until years later. Right. So he does it here later on with Newt. It's not worth skipping ahead, but this is the first time you see them get cocooned. No, It's
Wait, no, you see all the colonizers or whatever.
yeah, when
Yeah,
Yeah.
some
when
of the
they
colonizers, yeah.
when they get trapped. I apologize. You're right. When they
Yeah.
start lighting them up, that was awesome. But he introduced that in the franchise, I guess theatrically. I don't know. I'm zero pointing on that anyway. I lost
Yeah,
my
Well, they
train of
had
thought.
I guess
a
the
little
first
bit of-
one, yeah, there was only the one alien, so it wasn't really
Right.
like, they weren't making the hallway, on the Geiger paintings or whatever. By the way, have
Yeah.
you guys seen Jodorowsky's Dune, the documentary?
I have.
No.
That thing's fantastic.
It's fucking great.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, like it definitely the art from basically the Harkonnen planet or
Yes.
whatever was the Eta Prime is like strong influence on the alien realm and their design and everything, and it's pretty awesome, guys. Check that out too while you're at it.
Absolutely.
Did the aliens for?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he did get credit for all the two, but yeah, it's like the same designs and stuff. And Dan O'Bannon, the writer for Aliens, he
Right.
was part of that project. I think
Oh,
Stan
cool.
Winston was too, wasn't he?
I think he was,
I think
yes.
so.
Yeah,
At least for
like-
a brief period of time.
yeah. It's pretty incredible, but yeah, and one of the best things about the xenomorphs that I love, especially in this movie, is the way they move and stuff, because it's all the like practical, like
Yes.
basically
Yes.
puppetry, but it's just so like unsettling and unnerving. And then we get like quick flashes, like guys in costumes like jumping as explosions or backlighting them and stuff like
Right.
that. It's just all sorts of great. I love.
But
that
it was-
movie.
But it was edited well, though.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I mean, it was edited to a point where it's like, yes, you saw those dudes getting blown off the wall, but just previously you'd seen what looked like insectoids bouncing from one side of the wall to the next. So it was, they did it very well. As
Yeah,
far
and then
as
like
that.
coming out of the walls and stuff, and
Yeah.
it just like like you'll be looking in darkness, and then like something will flash, and you see like the reflection off their face and stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes, I love this where they're shining the flashlight. And
yeah.
it goes right past them, and that's where I'm kind of like, aliens, get it?
It was just basically 4 or 5 people in the same suit. That's how they made it keep looking like they kept coming and wouldn't stop. And I love this because they were doing the insect, the beehive and the queen bee and everything sort of deal. It was great that they were coming out of basically every little entry point you could in that room. So it never felt like you could properly escape. Like they kept coming at you and surrounding you. There's only one way back out, and you got to break through the door, get through the next door, get through the next door. That really builds that tension, and I really like that in this movie. It's one of my favorite parts of this movie is the constant once they get on that planet and they start getting hunted by the aliens, it's like all the way to the very end, the pacing, the editing, everything just flows so smoothly that if there was any sort of logic or writing or plot issues, you're not paying attention to that because it's just so much happening that you almost have to watch the movie like about 25 more times just to catch, oh, hey, that doesn't add up, because you're too wrapped up in the movie. And that's what you want out of a movie. You want to accentuate your positives and hide the negatives. And for a James Cameron movie, before he really went big, you can't get any better than Aliens. I would say that this is one of his best movies he's ever done. I think it's way better than Terminator 2.
Oh, okay, maybe. I mean,
Not about way better, but I don't know. I got a soft spot for Terminator 2. I was 10.
I love T2,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
I got some issues with the ending of that movie versus this one. So in this one, I
Okay,
don't have issues
fine.
with the ending.
Oh, that is why you cry, Jeff.
Well, in the novelization, when the hand goes into the lava, it actually gets saved at the very end. And that was supposed to be in the original script. And that's why nothing got reset at the end.
That's true.
So I got a problem with that before he came out with the special edition, and they fixed a few things.
Goddamn time paradox.
Sorry, you're talking about Terminator movies and special editions and deleted scenes, and I just think of was the Terminator 3
Oh.
with why
Oh,
he
God.
has that voice.
Yep.
Fucking
And that's
great.
where I totally turned it out of the franchise. I mean, I like the movie,
Everybody,
but I
I'm
know it's
Sergeant
crap.
Candy.
He speaks like a southern accent cowboy. It's horrible.
Can we change that accent? Yes, yeah, that can be arranged.
Yeah.
Google it, guys. It's great.
I like Claire Danes in that movie. It was fine.
Oh, I'm more of a Christina Loken fan of that movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat Conquest is my idea for her, or the Blood Rain movie she was in.
Blood Rain, yeah. I'm just like, or the L Word, guys. Look that up.
Ah, there you go.
6 seasons.
Welcome to 0 Point Reviews, where we just go off on tangents sometimes. Love it.
That's all right. I actually have my finger right where we left off.
Yeah, the L Word is aliens.
Aliens. Oh God.
At least it's not the N word.
Uh,
Nope.
no.
Yeah, I think we got coming.
What else we got?
I was already going with the Alien Gonzalez joke, so like, how many rhymes and puns can we possibly make here? But reeling us back from aliens to aliens, was talking about going into the hive. There's a moment, and I don't know if it was in the theatrical version or not, but as they're walking into Hadley's Hope, into the main door, Ripley's the last person to walk in, and she stops as everyone else is walking in with no care whatsoever. It's just another day on the job for them. And she's looking inside the door at everyone, knowing that she's not coming out of this place. Like, probably nobody is. And the pause that she had and the look that she gave them was almost like sad poetic like. I really enjoyed it for this type of what you would expect. Yeah, like actual like emotion.
Yep.
I'm gonna
and
stutter.
the relationship between Ripley and Newt is kind of what I think that what takes a great sci-fi action movie or whatever, but makes it like that extra step above. It's the same with like a movie like Jaws, where it's like, oh yeah, Brody and his kids, the relationship there. It's like, hey, these are characters you actually kind of give a shit about, and the camaraderie between the Space Marines and all that. It's like you kind of want them to make it out alive. Where usually with other horror movies, it's like the teenagers are complete assholes and like oh yeah, fucking eviscerate these assholes.
We're gonna go get high and drunk and have sex, and we're gonna die in 5 minutes.
Maybe there's the one final girl or whatever who's total prude or whatever, and so it's like, oh, you kind of want her to make it out, and I'm like, yeah, whatever, I don't care, but like a real relationship, like a real character, it's like, oh, okay, cool, let's hope they make it out.
Well, at least with this movie, more than one person makes it out. So you feel like we've at least evolved from the original Alien, where only, Ripley escapes with Jonesy. Jonesy's now safe and alive in her apartment back on home while she's off on another adventure. But at least she gets to leave with Newt and Michael Bihn's character. I'm trying to remember.
Spoilers for Alien 3. Do they make it?
That's the thing that pisses me off about that movie, is they kill off two of the most interesting characters. And if Neil Blomkamp had gotten his Alien 5 movie, we actually would have Michael Biehn and Newt back. And we would get the proper Alien 3 movie we always wanted. But Fox was just like a hard ass about giving him free reins on that. So we're getting Alien Romulus instead with Fede Alvarez coming up. That looks pretty interesting. I'm game. We like Fede. We like what he did with Evil Dead. And from what I'm hearing about Alien Romulus, it's pretty interesting of a movie. And I know somebody who actually worked on it as part of the crew. They weren't able to tell me like a whole lot of story things. They just told me it's interesting and it's set between Alien and Aliens.
Oh, the 57-year gap?
Yes, right in the middle.
Okay.
Supposed to fill in blanks on what was going on while Ripley is asleep, so they can at least cover some story ground without completely ignoring her.
Oh,
but they are.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is we're going to see the terraformers, and then the end of Romulus or whatever is basically going to be the call that's hey, we lost we lost connection with Romulus or LV-426 or whatever they're calling it or whatever.
I have a
Okay.
feeling it's like the Thing remake where it's right up against the 1982 movie from John.
So it's going to be absolutely horrible, is what I'm hearing, Jeff.
I
got hyped.
I'm interested. I'm gonna go see it, but yeah, I don't know what we're gonna get. But
Babe, how do you feel about
at the new CinemaCon in Vegas? They screen like the first like about 10-15 minutes, and what people are saying is this actually looks very interesting. There's way more practical effects going on in this movie than have been in an Alien movie in like 20 years. So we'll see.
Yeah, well, fingers crossed. You know.
One of my biggest pet peeves about like as the Alien movies get like the newer ones is the technology and the spaceships. Like Prometheus really really fucking irked my buttons because that was supposed to be beforehand and everything's all touch screens and stuff. And like I get that like technology has literally improved since then, but like the Nostromo being all just push button and stuff made a ton of sense. They were miners who also happened to be on a ship, and everything could just be, having real buttons and switches and stuff. You can just swap that out if it breaks or gets filled with dirt or whatever. And I think they should have kept the technology more in that realm. And I just don't think they're going to do it. I don't believe them that they're going to be able to do it in these movies. I think everybody's too obsessed with using 3D modeling and shit. Nobody's going to just build a fucking like ImSight 8080 to flip some switches on.
Well, that's another thing. Like with this movie, that's along the same lines of the first one, where it's like, oh yeah, the windows on the windows she looks out to like see the space or whatever, they're dirty because they're actually being used in space and stuff on there. It's condensation and stuff on things. Like obviously everything is very mechanical and everything within the ship. It's not all just bleep bloops and book. It's more like, oh shit, we lost power. Now we got to like pull this thing and they really make use of those little blowtorches or whatever to cut things open, and they
made things a little bit more advanced in this one, like a believable amount. Yeah. But like again, it's still like these are Marines in space. It's not going to be super high tech stuff. It's going to be things that they can switch out in their hyper, when they get up from hypersleep when. I don't know, somebody left a fucking pop bottle open.
I mean, phone technology is like Demolition Man levels. Like you just put that little card in the slot and it pulls up Carter, shirtless in his bedroom. And it's like,
I was going to say, somebody got to be topless.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, TV static. You're not going to get a whole lot of that in Prometheus or whatever, unless it's like, oh, the space station blew up, so we're getting some static. We're like, no, this is just every day because it's millions of light years away.
Right? Guys, I'm just going to say it. If Star Wars can do it, you guys can do it, right? Star Wars keeps the ships all within a believable range of technology, right?
Except for the prequels. Don't worry about those.
You know what?
Well, and except for when horses can ride a spaceship on the outside.
Well, I mean... Duh. Horses are great. Horses are very good at everything they do.
Space horses.
They're magnetic horseshoes.
Horses are actually terrible at everything they do. Horses are designed to die. It's awful.
Guys, let's talk about War Horse.
Oh my God, War Horse! I have so many problems with that movie. But that movie does deliver on a war and a horse.
That's true.
Hey.
This is true. This is true.
That's right. I watched Hidalgo and my friend Carolina is nowhere in this shit. I hates it.
Oh, I love Hidalgo.
Hidalgo's a good movie.
Shut up, both of you.
No, it's great.
No, it's actually a decent movie, I thought.
I'm sure it was. Is that the one that had Aragorn in it?
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's a good movie. And Izzy brought up Prometheus. I get hate for this all the time. I like Prometheus, but I freely acknowledge the stupidity of when they get to the planet.
It's okay.
It goes off the rails once they get to the fucking planet. And part of it goes to they reshot the movie basically twice. So we only got part of the movie that really originally intended, but also he had a bunch of different writers with their fingers in the pie screwing around with his original concept. And when we got to Alien Covenant, it was complete trash. So
Can I
But-
also say that this movie came out on my birthday, and I never go
Really?
see movies in like theaters. And I went opening day on my birthday, and so I'm extra mad this movie was hot fucking trash.
Yeah.
Prometheus,
I can
yeah,
see that.
Prometheus came out on my birthday.
Let me tell you about Ultraviolet on my birthday. Anyway.
Oh, don't get me started on that fucking. Oh, fuck that movie.
I'm glad the
I
writer
looked
slash
so
director
forward
quit
to that movie
filmmaking
with
up until
Mila.
last year.
Oh my god.
Came back with Children of the Corn reboot. Easily the worst movie made last year.
I texted my best friend on his birthday on opening day of Ghostbusters this year. I'm like, watching Ghostbusters. Have fun, fucker. Bye.
Frozen Empire, right?
Yeah. My buddy back home, is his birthday. I'm like, tell your mom I said hi. Bye-bye.
Mom
Having
jokes.
fun without you.
So have your
No,
mom-
I really miss his mom.
Maybe you haven't been keeping up on current events, but we just got our asses kicked, pal.
Yeah.
That's my last clip, everybody.
So, like 90%
Wait,
of his
you don't even
dialogue
have
was
"Get Away
ad-lib.
from Her," you bitch.
Everybody uses that clip. I wanted to do other fun stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm a
Frailty.
Pullman guy. I love Frailty, so like I got to do something more for him. So,
Well, how about Paxton though? You said Pullman.
oh god, I do that all the fucking time.
I,
was thinking, like,
lost my way. Anyway,
the two Bills, it's like
No,
That's
it's
more
really easy.
Paxton
You just
than
have to
Pullman.
wait,
remember
that was
that
not
Bill
kill. Fuck.
You just have to remember it's Action Paxton. Bill Paxton's in all the action movies.
there you go.
That is literally
And Bill
how I
Pul-
remember.
And Bill Pullman's in all
because
the
we've
Trace
been watching
Gilman
this
movies.
since
What are we
He's not-
talking about?
he's not
in our
as
house,
much-
so it's like I got the
Goodness
two Bills
day.
on my head.
Yeah, yes, Bill Pullman is the president. There you go. President Pullman.
And in The
and Action
Sinner, he's the detective.
And while
Anytime
you were
there's a
sleeping, he's the
political
creepy
argument,
brother.
That's my answer.
Oh my god, this while you're sleeping.
Steve just traumatized
and
generation.
oh god, the Ellen
Weird
DeGeneres
Science.
one, Miss Wrong or whatever.
Oh, Weird Science with Paxton, yeah. He almost
Speaking
felt
of
like he was
creepy
channeling
brother.
some of that in this movie a little bit.
Chet? Oh, fuck yeah.
What if Chet were a space marine?
Like,
Kinda.
I wish my kids could have lived at the same time as Bill Paxton. Like, he was truly awesome. Anytime he shows up in something, it turns out to be awesome. Even the end of fucking who's it? Season 1 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. turned out to be awesome.
Oh.
So wait, you guys haven't seen like all 5 seasons of Big Love?
I haven't even seen
You're gonna
one
get a lot of Paxton.
Okay.
You're actually talking about a show called Big Love, not like the rest of the 5 seasons of S.H.I.E.L.D. because I don't want to watch those. I just like the first one.
And who
I
can
can't
forget
believe
the
there's
famous
actually
line,
5
"That's
seasons
like a
of that
10-year-old
show."
boy." Anyway.
Oh, True Lies.
Oh,
Titty said, "Make
God.
a man stand up and beg for buttermilk."
The last good James Cameron movie.
I completely agree with that.
I don't
I
know
love
if it's
True
the
Lies.
last-
That 4K is
good
shit,
movie.
though. Don't buy that.
Oh, really?
It's too
Lame.
smooth. It's too clean. There's no film grain. He doesn't like film grain. So he fucks all of his movies over like that. The Aliens movie looks okay, but like the True Lies and like the Abyss. I mean, Abyss looks fine, but like True Lies looks horrible.
I got
Keep
grain.
your DVDs, everybody.
Yeah.
I got grain
Ooh,
out of the clear shots
Queen.
like this. Yes, but the queen bitch is here.
There she is.
I love her in the front loader. That's fucking awesome. That's my first experience with like Mecha. And I mean, I grew up with cartoons, but like seeing something like that in live action was like that was my jam.
So well made. Look, Saved by a Caterpillar, right?
Kinda.
They should have gotten the brand name from Caterpillar. That would have been dope.
Right.
Right. I mean, but
Just
let's
a little
face it,
cat right above her head there.
we all know Caterpillar.
Okay, like, we could
I
paint it
love this
green
kind of
if you want to
flip
pay us the
for it.
bucks, John Deere. You know?
Yeah, John Deere. Let's go.
Dude, they didn't even want to pay Ripley for this shit. Like, he'd written the script for her, for Ripley's character, as it clearly is. And they didn't reach out to her. They didn't want to pay her the money. They told him to basically write another treatment that doesn't have her character in it.
That has Linda Hamilton instead.
I don't no fucking clue, but he was like, no. So
Don't come with me if you want to live, Sarah Connor.
I said,
Yeah,
then they watched Ghostbusters and how much money it made. It's like, no, give me that Sigourney chick.
yes, like she got them by the Bobos each and every single time that they wanted her to come back. She got them by the Bobos.
Oh God, I hope so.
Because
she got paid.
Yeah, I remember reading it each time between episode between part 3 and part 4.
Oh, that's when the checks went way up.
Yeah, because she was like, I'm never doing this again, never doing this again. All of a sudden, she signed on, and she's like, I'm doing this again.
There's no way I'm doing this for 20 grand. Oh, there's 3 more zeros.
Oh, that was just the initial payment to read the script. Gotcha.
that was to accept this call. Interesting.
And when Nona's in this, I'm going to need an extra 0 at the end to put up with her. Gotcha.
And she just got arrested?
Anyway.
What the hell's a Joss Whedon? That was good, dude.
Golly, and I was going to say something nice about the movie.
Yeah, well, you have to wait 2 weeks for that.
Yeah, I know.
And I won't have anything nice to say about that movie except the basketball scene and Ron Perlman.
Oh man, yeah. I saw Alien Resurrection in theaters because I was like 15.
It's the only time I've ever seen that movie. Was in theaters.
I was like, okay, this is weird, but I kind of like it. The end got really weird, but yeah.
It's so crazy.
The problem is they're like, hey, you know what? That Batman and Robin movie did okay. Let's make it like that. And you're just kind of like, but why? It didn't really need to be.
Problem with that one is there's good ideas in it, but they never come out.
Yeah.
They're not focused upon anyway.
Oh yeah.
You know, we'd rather have
the
sight
90s.
gags.
Come on.
Yeah, Kevin. Buffy the Vampire Slayer showed you that. He had to go make a TV series about it. Let's get all angsty now.
My wife still wants me to watch that, and I'm just kind of like,
Buffy's fine for about 5 seasons.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah.
I watched like the first 9 1/4 seasons of Smallville, and that was good for me. I don't need to do any more angsty any more soap opera type shit, unless it's got more Superman.
So wait, you didn't watch all 17 seasons of Supernatural like an American?
Yeah.
I've only watched the first 5, and I stopped because Eric Kripke said that's where my original idea ended.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Yeah, we watched all 17 mostly out of spite.
It is right.
Because nobody makes it past season 6, and we're like, oh yeah, it's still on the air allegedly.
Yeah, no, I literally have a friend who like has the tattoo on his chest, like has the cookbook, has not seen the last 4 seasons. Like apparently we outwatched the super fans.
Wow.
And Steve is still bitter about it.
A little bit.
They're not good. Like you don't need 12 of those seasons.
That's
Once
like
I heard they got to like Atlantis storylines, I'm like, I think I'm not interested.
Oh, they don't really stick with Atlantis for very long.
Yeah, but still, I'm like, that's kind of.
There are a couple of episodes that everybody should look up and watch. There's an episode where they go into a Scooby-Doo cartoon, and that one's great.
Yes, I have seen that
one. Is great. There is one where they get pulled into the real world, where like they are Jensen Ackles and
Jared Padalecki.
Oh,
but they're the brothers, so like
apparently
they're trying to figure it out.
Jensen Ackles in this world.
I don't even know what that is.
That's not even a name, is it?
Yeah. And so like in real life, Lecky married like the demon chick from a couple of the seasons. So like she comes home and they're talking, like demon, and she's just like, guys, that's just really not funny.
That's not a funny joke, guys.
So that was pretty good. There's one where they get involved with a high school play because we find out about the BMs, the boy moments.
Oh yeah, where it was like a musical based on based on the books that are written about them or
Yes.
whatever. And
Yeah. Turns out, spoiler, because nobody's gonna watch this deep into the season. God is a writer who writes books about them.
Oh, I heard about this.
Yeah, it's a whole thing, but yeah, they get like pulled into a high school musical based on the books about their lives, and all the girls love their BMs, their boy moments.
Boy, I wonder if we're gonna get that out of the Aliens TV show they're putting out soon.
Oh, I'm sure it's gonna be full of BMs.
Oh, it's gonna be a BM. Whether it's messy
Boy
or
moments.
clean, we'll find out.
Yeah.
Did we get in trouble for the trailer review that we did for that?
Not for
For
Alien.
3
No.
days? Which is great because like not a whole lot happened in it, but like 2 days, I think maybe after we did it, someone had an article that says Fede Alvarez breaks down the trailer.
Yep.
Like there wasn't much to break down. It panned backwards down
was
a
a
hallway
teaser.
and went
backwards down a hallway, and
and went.
I don't know. You talk about yourself for half of the trailer from director Fede Alvarez, the guy who did Evil Dead.
Yeah.
And also other thing.
And what was it? A Quiet
But
Place, or
mostly
was
Evil
it
Dead.
Don't Breathe? No, Don't Breathe.
Don't Breathe. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's like,
I
okay,
still haven't
cool.
seen that one.
I've heard that one's actually okay. A Quiet Place is
The Krasinski
All right.
movie.
it's fine.
Yeah, Don't Breathe is okay. Don't Breathe 2, though, they try to make him the
heard
hero,
it's horrible.
and it does not work, guys. Sorry, I don't give a fuck.
I don't think Fede was actually involved with that one, but I don't know for sure. Might have just been as a producer.
They should have just called it Don't Breathes. Anyway.
Don't breathe.
Hold your breath.
Yeah. Don't breathe. Get it?
Kevin, you got any other slides?
Do I? Oh, just for the real hero of the movie that unceremoniously takes out Corporal
Who's the real
Hicks.
hero?
Morphine.
Yeah.
Captain Morphine
Yeah,
took
man.
out Hicks so he could be unsuccessful, unhelpful, completely crap. My parting thought on this is I like the story that they gave Ripley in this episode, or this episode of the quadrilogy, whatever. She had the chance of being a mother robbed from her, like really badly, and she gets it back here, and she becomes a very fierce mother to Newt very quickly, and it's
Very
sweet.
protective.
Yeah, and you feel that protectiveness for Newt with Ripley. She just does a fantastic job of making you feel that. That's all going away after this movie. I apologize. We will shit on that next week. Really sorry.
And then really shit on it in the fourth one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this should be fun going forward after this week. You
Yeah.
think we were
I'll be
talking
over
blindly
it.
about this one?
I'll be over it. Like really, like just to say it the one last time, her life ended right here before they walk into that door, or before she walks into that door, and she knew it too.
She should have just stayed home.
Yeah.
She wasn't even supposed to be there today.
No,
Yep.
and so like really, who's feeding Jonesy at this point? Dipshit.
She could have been at a barbecue.
Yeah.
Well,
She
she
could have
ended
been
up
at a
being at a
barbecue.
barbecue.
She's got an automatic heater.
But also, you guys, this does come to like one of my favorite points. Xenomorphs love kittens. The xenomorphs never fuck with Jonesy.
No.
But babe, what if I wanted an art piece of the xenomorph playing with kittens?
Oh, you could get that in my shop at untidyvenus.etsy.com.
What about any other movie monsters who love kittens? Would they also be available there at
I have a whole
untidyvenus.etsy.com?
pile of them.
Like what? Like Pumpkinhead or Predator or
Pumpkinhead, I have
Godzilla?
Predator, Godzilla, Pennywise.
Where was that again? At untidyvenus.etsy.com. Anyway, back to Kevin and Jeff.
No, we're about wrapping up here. So if you want to shield, by all means.
We ended 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. But you know, we all pretty much like the movie. It's
Oh, yeah.
very much classic. First two, 1-2 punch. Steve, Izzy, you got any final thoughts before we wrap it up here?
I try not to have thoughts, so I'm gonna leave this to Steve.
All right,
Yeah.
Steve, it's on you all now.
Aliens is a classic. Check it out. It's on Max. I mean, you should have a Blu-ray or something of it. I don't.
I have the old Blu-ray set myself.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know what's on the special edition. I'm sure it's great too. I have seen the special edition of number 3, and it's actually slightly better than.
Okay.
Apparently, an extra 45 minutes of actual storytelling kind of helps at least make some sense, but not really.
Do they talk about the
45?
Navajo or Princess Mononoke?
In Alien 3, I doubt it. But
Damn it.
45 more minutes of Alien 3?
look, we were like last year, we were looking through Max, and Alien 3 came up, and I saw there was the option of like the director's cut or whatever on Max. I'm like, oh, yeah, why not? I know the regular one kind of sucks. Let's see if this extended version works.
It's not
You
even
know,
really
David-
the director's
David
cut either.
Fincher's a good director, right?
He's no David Lynch, but
Fincher's a decent director when he gets to do the material he wants to do.
Well, yeah. But
He was a hired gun for that movie, and it didn't work out. So
Well, considering there was no script.
we'll get into original scripts for that movie. They're wild, bro.
oh yeah.
Believe me.
But yeah, before you do that, watch Aliens. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Steve, Izzy, thank you for joining us. Please tell everybody where you can be found and about your podcast.
Well, of course, we're available on all the major podcatchers under Everything I Learned from Movies. We talk about bad to questionable movies, and we talk about great beer.
yeah.
Basically, we kind of love bad movies, and we always find something good about it. Well, I mean, 99% of the time we'll find something good about them, at least have fun talking about them. And yeah, it's a good old time. And you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Blueski at EILF Movies. That's Everything I Learned from Movies. Babe, where can I get those movie monsters who love kittens?
UntidyVenus.etsy.com, and you can follow me everywhere at UntidyVenus on all the social media.
That's a goddess who's bad at housekeeping.
Woo!
Well, thank you, everybody, for tuning in for 0 Point Reviews with Aliens and Stephen, Izzy, and Kevin and Jeff. See you all next time. Make sure you check us out on all of our social media platforms. We got Facebook, Twitter. We are at Suns and Shadows. We're also on Instagram at Suns and Shadows Cast. We are at SunsAndShadows.com. Thank you again, everybody, and we'll see you down the road.